and this is my personal opinion, that either William Ruto has made peace with the fact that he will be a one-term president, and so therefore he wants to dig such a deep hole,
Anybody
even
who comes,
people who come after him, because why would he take that loan, the bond for Talanta Hera for 15 years? Now he has securitized for 10 years. I don't know whether you're understanding. We take all this money that we are supposed to get from fuel levy, and we get it on the first instance. And we use it in advance to securitize. Now all that money is already spent. Now we are now on the second limb. We are now talking about the National Infrastructure Fund that is supposed to sell the assets of the Republic and also get loans from other places. 5 trillion, Jeff, is actually more than our national budget, isn't it?
Yes.
And that money is supposed to be given to some people without the oversight of Parliament, and it is actually outside the provisions of this.
Let me go to Prof. Prof, what do you have to say?
You know, exactly what Senator Methu is saying. It's either William Ruto is up to the factor that he is going to be a one-term president, hence by making it difficult for the person who is going to succeed him to steer this country. But before that, it seems like Ndindi Nyoro, the member of parliament for Kiharu constituency, had already seen this, because remember, this was just this Wednesday when Senator Methu with Onyonka and Tom Ojenda were on JKL Live. But there's a clip about Ndindi Nyoro speaking about this infrastructure fund, and this is what he had to say about this.
Kuna hii kitu inaitwa infrastructure fund, na nimesoma hiyo bill yote, nimeisoma ambayo imeletwa na serikali pale bunge. Everything they are proposing to do is already being done by government without any bill or act. An IPO can be done. It is being done. Selling government assets is being done. There is only one thing in that fund ambayo serikali inataka kufanya. Ni wakiokota hii pesa ya Kenya Pipeline na ile ingine inauzwa Safaricom shares kwa hasara, waweke pesa katika hiyo fund, waitumie kama seed money to borrow times 10 of that money. When you hear senior government officials claiming they want to raise 5 trillion shillings, Kenyans should know the 5 trillion shillings is not coming from minerals or from taxes or from anything else. It is an illegal borrowing we want to do outside of the normal borrowing that the government does. Sasa mimi nauliza wale wako katika serikalini, mnachukua dividend ambayo serikali itareceive for the next 10 years, mnatumia leo. Fuel levy mnatumia leo. Nani amewaambia Kenya inaenda pahali? Kenya is a going concern. We need this money today. We need this money tomorrow. We must refuse this tendency of leaders wanting political capital today to overburden the future generations for many decades to come. President Kibaki alijenga barabara. He never took any illegal loan. All the loans were in where it is recorded by the government. The infrastructure fund, Kenyans, nikimaliza, there is no infrastructure fund there. It is an illegal borrowing fund. Because IMF are asking us, and World Bank, why are you borrowing so much? What is the answer? Serikali, as we talk, IMF wamekataa kukodesha Kenya pesa. Na IMF wanatupea pesa kwa bei ya chini sana. Lakini serikali haitaki, kwa sababu hiyo inakuja na masharti. Masharti ya kwanza, madeni yote ya nchi ikae katika kitabu moja. Lakini Kenya haitaki, kwa sababu viongozi wanataka wafungue kitabu ya madeni hapa na ingine ya madeni ingine hapa. Mwishowe tunataka kufanya kama vile Senegal walifanya, na tunataka kupeleka Kenya kwenye Ghana walipelekwa miaka kama 2 iliyopita. It is not right, and I want to repeat, the infrastructure fund, hiyo mambo yote ni mambo ya kukopa, na sio kukopa kihalali, ni kukopa outside the book. Let us do the right thing. Let's go to the economy, how the other presidents grew it, how the other governments did it, so that the infrastructure we are doing is not out of overburdening Kenyans na mambo ya kukopa zaidi. Very, very lastly.
You know, I'll begin by what Senator Methu did say at JKL, that it's either President William Samoei Ruto has come to the terms that he is not going to be re-elected and wants to make it difficult for the next regime to run this nation. This is what I call an act of witchcraft. And by the time you really cry for us as Kenyans to be so loyal to the nation and to be patriotic, we ask ourselves, where is the patriotism in President William Samoei Ruto? Because one thing you should know, if this infrastructure fund is not channeled into the consolidated account, there will be no oversight. Nobody will know how much is getting out, how much is being used. It will be so tough to conduct an audit, and that is what they want. And other leaders are speculating that maybe the president wants to go and use this money for campaign purposes, and that could be true. You see, I would also tag this with what Ndindi Nyoro did say, that the government wants to open books of loans from different places, because already they know the IMF is not going to give them any loan, because it has already bothered them and asking them and bombarding them with so much questions like why so much loans in this short period? Why is President William Ruto rushing this nation? Yet we know the revenue collection in this nation is able to finance these projects. You see, the president, just like Methu said, is trying to make it so difficult for the next regime to run this nation, hence by putting the future of Kenyans and the future generations of Kenya into risk. This is throwing this nation to the shambles. I sometimes wonder what kind of a person Ruto is. It's like, if I'm not getting it, then nobody shall get it. That is not the type of a leader that we want. A leader should be a person who is having the interest of the people at heart. You see, when we don't have this money going through the consolidated account, like right now, we have the Auditor General being able to tell certain amount of money has left the treasury and certain amount of money has gone to do such a project. Such amount of money has been withdrawn illegally. So as Ndindi Nyoro puts it, this will be an illegal borrowing fund. It is like a vehicle that is meant to strain Kenyan economy by having these people borrowing loans, using them for their own benefits, but later on, it is the Kenyan taxpayer who will be feeling the pinch. That is what they are building. What is your opinion on this? You might be of the contrary say. Give me your thought in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.